Welcome to Above the Garage.
Hi, friends. Welcome to our discussion of Season 4, Episode 3 of Industry. Let's do our round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Allie.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Kate.
This episode is going to be filthy, just so you know, because
It's not really our
this recording is
fault.
going to be filthy because the actual episode of the show is filthy, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yes, exactly.
At least a particular scene is.
Yes.
Aubrey, did you want to talk about the music in the last episode quickly, and then we will dive into this episode?
Yeah, I had a crazy situation. So last week, I went slightly insane trying to figure out why I recognized the score towards the end of episode 2. It's during the sequence where Henry tries to kill himself in the garage and he's having the visions of or memories of his father's death, his father killing himself. And it's this very kind of ominous, long notes score. And I knew I recognized it and it was driving me crazy. And then I'm just minding my own business, going about my life, looking at cat videos on my phone of my own cats. And I found a video where I had recorded my cats watching the movie Flow.
Because pets love that movie. My animals love that movie. Yes, okay.
Captivated, yes.
Proceed.
I think actually you told me about your dog loving it. And so then I played it for my cats on one of my cats' birthdays, like that same year. Anyway, so I'm watching the video of my cat just staring at Flow. And I hear the same freaking music in the background of the video.
That is amazing.
What are the chances
That song was from Flow to begin with? That you were videoing that part of the show, that you rewatched it this week? That's so crazy.
So insane because it was so random. But yeah, so I guess they repurposed some of the score from Flow. It's very slightly different. I kind of lined the clips up in a moment of complete insanity because I was like, this is crazy that this is the same song or same piece of music. But yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if it's because they're both owned by HBO and they have access to the same music or if the composer just liked that and altered the score. But anyway, it was a crazy story and it was interesting that it came from that. And yeah. I like it. It's a very impactful piece of music, and I understand why they used it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love your story. That's so funny. And random.
So random.
All right, so this episode, I'm going to butcher it probably, but it was entitled Habseligkeiten, which means possessions closest to your soul. We'll talk about later. And we are immediately thrown into the action in Harper and Eric's new fund, which has a name now, and a creative one at that. It's called Stern Tao. JK, it's just their last names combined, but it sounds good. They're both hitting the phones hard, Jerry Maguire style. Eric's courting Hillary Wyndham. And actually, Harper's on with Jim Diker right now, who's writing the article about Tinder. And finally, we get some actual information on that. Diker claims Tinder is still processing the porn and gambling payments they swore off of, and illegally so, apparently, in areas where it's fully illegal and requiring the actual laundering of money. Harper's willing to publish her consideration of shorting Tinder. And a simple way to explain shorting is just that she's betting that their stock is going down. Diker stops short of calling Tinder fraudulent in his article only because he doesn't think he can get it through editing. He's hoping for this article to be the first of many. And unsurprisingly, he is not doing this because he himself is shorting the stock. I was surprised that she would actually think that. He doesn't look like he has the money to short anything. No offense, sir.
Yeah, although it does seem like he had some previous bad trades based on what he said, right?
Right.
I also really think the dialogue is so clever. I mean, it always is, but where he says, my editor's not going to let me use the F word, and he's talking about fraudulent. That was a cleverly worded.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is clever.
The crosstalk in the scene also, we talked about that last week, is so good. And I think, Allie, you had mentioned how reminiscent this was of previous seasons.
Yes, this really reminded me of like season 2, maybe season 1 too. Just right away, like right off the bat, the music was very Industry, Pure Point vibes. And at first I was like, am I watching the right season? Like, did I accidentally click on the wrong season? But yeah, then you quickly can tell that it's like Stern Tao. But yeah, I really loved the music that they were playing. Very Industry vibes.
It definitely felt like kind of a nostalgic callback to their style from earlier in the show. And yeah, even with the cross-talking and then with like seeing Jim Diker at his desk and hearing the random interspersed conversations from other desks in between what he was saying. And yeah, it was just very reminiscent of that.
The editing this episode was really cool. It was kind of unique. Felt a little different, just like what you're saying with that, and then later with the oyster. That was
I was wondering if you were talking about the oyster.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty epic.
That is the editing moment that stood out for me as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Eric's failing to convince Hillary to come on board. A short-only fund is too risky for his pension fund, which makes sense. They sign off friendly enough, bonding briefly over the distance from their children before Harper calls them the Deadbeat Dad Club and suggests this hotel suite is perhaps too intimate an office setting for their new fund.
I think that's one of the rare moments where I'm in complete agreement with Harper.
Yeah.
That seemed like a crazy, what, she's going to stay in a hotel with Eric? I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah.
It's weird.
I was wondering if they were hinting towards Eric wanting something more with her this episode.
It could be.
Yeah, and like at the end, we'll get to that, but he just made a few. And then he's in a robe at some point. I don't know.
Yes.
I just kind of got a little bit of a weird vibe.
It felt like very intimate, and
Yeah.
it's not like the relationship was like this at some point.
Right.
And I felt completely wrong about that.
Uh-huh.
The role, but maybe not like,
Sexual.
like sexual, more like father, paternal
Familial.
kind of way. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
He does tend to cross lines with people, though. Like, he has this
It
weird
has. Yes.
intimacy in business that is completely misplaced and uncomfortable. And he did that with Yaz
Yeah.
previously.
Exactly.
So it's hard to know what he's wanting, or it's just creepy in general, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, oh, maybe he's just being. He was really nice to her this season, or this episode,
Right.
and this season in general. He's
Exactly.
very nice to her.
Yeah, I like him and how he's being nice to her, but I do agree that like lines are being pushed and it's questionable and it could go a different
Yeah.
direction.
Not sure what direction we're going in.
Yeah, and he was his girlfriend too that was bringing him beers
Yeah.
in the previous episode was like a young black woman, which I'm not saying that's relevant, but also
I felt
Don't
like
know.
it was
Could be.
intentional.
yeah,
And Harper brought it up, too, so
Right.
she
Yeah.
was thinking about it.
Mhm.
But it does seem like there's something weird with Eric that he merges the business side of him with his personal side a lot
Yes,
and like doesn't know where the line is between professional and personal.
I agree.
I feel like a lot of them do that, right?
A lot of them
in
do,
this
that's
show,
true.
but he's a more senior.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They live to work.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that Eric at this point is very different from the previous season Eric. I like this very chill Eric.
It's nice.
It's nice because he's more
Like thoughtful and
approachable.
yeah.
He's more open to talk about business or different perspective, but I feel like Harper is not comfortable with that.
Yeah,
Like she needs that pushy Eric.
right.
Like because I think she felt like he was pushing her to be her best, you know?
In previous
Like-
seasons, you mean, when he's like her? He's like so chill this season. She doesn't like it.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And I think Harper missed that Eric because
Yeah.
that's the one person that she needs right now.
Yeah.
Someone that trusts in her, but also push her to her best version of herself. So
Yeah,
I think that's the problem with this connection in this episode.
at the moment, yeah.
I feel like now she is the old version of him in a lot of ways. She's that like really just moody and letting work really get to her and affect everything in her life. That was him, and now he's had some moments of retirement and he's done some things he learned from, hopefully. But yeah, I think that she kind of is him in these moments in this season. A lot of it reminds me the way she's acting of old Eric.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I think it was last time that he's kind of been her mentor in shaping how she is in this business. And he had that really wild, unhinged personality in previous seasons. And she's like trying to reignite that now. But I think he's also really smart. Like some of the things that he says, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like everything you're saying is correct. You need to properly research this. Like Harper's going off the deep end kind of with some things and just jumps into these, like puts her full self behind things that are not substantiated in any way, even if she might turn out to be right. And he's very grounding this episode in like, you really need to figure this out before you start telling people in a meeting that you know this for a fact when you absolutely do not, you know?
Yeah. She kind of jumps the gun.
Yeah, and I think she kind of is resentful of that part of him a little bit. Like she wants him to be more unhinged like he was before.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even though it was to her detriment in some ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
One weird thing though is when they're both on the phone calls and Eric says, "Who are you on the phone to anyway?" Like when she hangs up and she doesn't answer his question. How much of a red flag is that, Eric, that she won't tell you? And then they go into the meeting and she talks about Tinder, but she won't admit who she's on the phone to. Anyway, there's just like small hints of them hiding things from each other, especially Harper hiding things from Eric.
Right.
Right out of the gate, doing it again.
Yep. Not shocking, but yeah. Yasmin and Henry are back on, and they're in the office. Somehow Henry's insane birthday party did not turn off anyone. Whitney still hired him, and Jennifer Bevan is even here to see him today. Incredible. Yaz coaches him, suggests he lean into the mental instability thing, not ignore it. Henry disagrees. He's not comfortable talking about himself. But in the end, he obeys his wife. He and Yaz are walking her around the office before he takes off his glasses and gets serious, addresses the elephant in the room. And I thought he did it well. But Bevan points out his political party consistently votes against funding mental health, and he volleys back that he voted against his party on that one. I love the look Henry gives when he's trying to switch the topic off of alcoholism back to the banking license Tinder needs. It's so funny. He's so like annoyed, or I don't know. It's a good look.
I also thought it was interesting that she refers to it as alcoholism. Like, obviously that was part of the issue.
Right.
But it's like she's putting it all on that instead of also addressing the fact that he has something else going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means exactly, but that's how she saw him because he walked into the room completely fucked up. So
Right. And I was trying to figure out why he did react with that look after she's talking to him. I think it's when she says it's like, you know, every day or one day at a time, whatever it is. Like, I don't know if it's him being annoyed at that because right now he feels like he's cured and it's all good and don't like... Or perhaps it's that she is underestimating the scope of all of his problems.
I feel like she's a little naive because when she walked in on Yaz doing like lines, she was sort of like, "Oh, I haven't boffed a line since uni or whatever." Maybe she doesn't really know like the scope of it, and that's why he made that look. Because he's just like, "Oh, you've no idea."
You just don't get it, right?
Yeah.
That look kind of looked like that. So yeah, I think you're probably right.
It's probably that and a combination of him just not really wanting to talk about himself much.
For sure.
That. Like that's kind of all he wants to say.
Right. Which he's already stated.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, moving on.
Yeah.
When they're in Henry's office and Henry's like, "You can't talk like that," when Haley walks in.
Yeah.
And Yaz is like, "I can and I will." And then she just goes on. Oh my gosh. That was so good. That was such good acting. I love that.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She's so good. She's really killing this season.
She's, I think, my favorite in the show.
So because they need Jenny to get them the license, like she's the catalyst for getting the business license, right? For them to be a bank.
She can help them, yes.
From my understanding, yes.
Yeah, she can influence the government to give them this license. So that kind of also explains a deeper level to Whitney sucking up to Jenny and axing Siren in the previous episodes, right? Because he probably knew that they needed her for that purpose.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that at the time. I just thought like, oh, he's just trying to get in the good books of the government. But like, she actually
is fully an obstacle to them getting what they want.
Can move the needle on the license. Yeah.
He was buttering her up.
Yeah, they needed not be affiliated with Siren so the government could give them the license or allow them to have this license. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was reading too.
Right, because they want to merge with this big bank and, you know, those are often shut down.
Yeah. Also, as you said, Kate, Henry is such a good salesman in this scene. Like, I was believing it. I was buying it.
I know. I was proud of him.
I was like, yeah, I would do what he wants. Yeah, he sounds legit.
Yeah.
I think Henry is very good speaking, convincing people in their point of view. And I love Jasmine because she's so good at influencing things and people.
Yeah.
You know, like she said a word, soft power or something. But I mean, she was so great trying to convince Henry about like, you need to have a narrative because she learns in the previous season that it's good to have a good, solid narrative, especially in business.
Yeah.
You move from that, something can be messy and fall apart.
Yeah.
So I think she was very clever here to say that to Henry, like, no. And also I felt like the alcoholism was very downplaying the fact that he was very high at his birthday. So
Right. They're lucky that she thinks it was just an alcohol problem.
Exactly.
You know?
Not depression, suicidal thoughts and everything.
Drug
Yeah.
problem,
Right.
hard drug
Mhm.
problem.
Yeah, and it seems like he makes a little progress with Bevan in this scene. So Yasmin's looking on proudly.
Yeah. I really like Jenny's pants in this scene, the like pink pants.
She reminds me a lot of Succession.
Sarah Snook?
Yeah, but what is her character's name?
Shiv.
Shiv, yeah.
Siobhan.
Siobhan. She reminds me of her a lot, like the way she kind of looks, and
Yeah.
she's kind of a badass.
The haircut,
The hair, the color,
The color. Yeah, her freckled.
everything.
Yeah.
the show in general has similar feel at times. So yeah,
Yeah.
I liked Harper's outfit in this episode too, or one of the outfits she had on. It's like tights and like a black dress and
Yeah. Short black
just
dress.
very cool business casual, but like kind of has like a sexy element to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I liked it too. Good costumes. At the Stern Tao potential investor breakfast, Eric's trying to sell their short fund, which will indeed be 100% short positions and only on a few selected stocks. The investors are obviously concerned about the lack of diversification. They're putting all their eggs in one basket, which is dangerous. Bonkers, even. I like the guy that said bonkers, just because he said bonkers. Harper admits the strategy is high risk, but if the investors wanted the safety of the, say, 8% return from the market rising every year, they wouldn't be here. She's gambling that they specifically want something that is not market correlated and can bring higher returns. Before she can go further into that point, though, one of the potential investors calls her out on her petulant gatekeeping of her previous funds. Seriously, that move would have fucked her forever with potential investors. Would you invest in anything where you think they're going to cut you off and you can't get your money out?
That's pretty insane.
Right, and it's not industry standard, right? It's not, they have other choices. I don't know. I don't think anyone would invest with her ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand everybody's skepticism
Yeah,
and hesitancy
same.
because like why would you
They're
put
new.
millions of dollars with somebody who has no track record of like proving
Right.
that they can do this?
No, yeah, it's crazy.
And this is a new company for them. They've just started it and
Right.
New and has a horrible record of
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I think Harper has a bad rep, especially after what happened with
I can't even remember if she's had like wins.
She's had wins.
But has she had wins for investors? Like I know she was an employee before.
Yeah, so she had Jesse Bloom that made a ton off of her, and it was in a shady way, and I think that probably kind of inspired her doing the short trades in a way.
Yes, but she has that at least. Good. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, she has that track record. And I guess like the thing to me is I keep wanting her to lose in a big way because I hate that she keeps having these bullshitty meetings with people, just convincing them of something that has no backing really. And then she keeps
Right.
being right about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
that needs to be taken down a peg.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate in this scenario because I also want Tinder to lose. And we can't have them both lose. Like one of
Yeah.
them has to win, and that's a bummer for me because they both need to be taken down a peg. So it's unclear how they end up after the breakfast meeting. She does end up dropping Tinder when she's forced to say something specific, but then she doesn't tell them why she wants to short Tinder, so they're still like not necessarily convinced.
and that guy Pierre kind of keeps asking some challenging questions, but it's interesting. He like followed up later and I think he ends up wanting to work with them.
Well, that whole scenario is crazy too. We'll get to it, but like everyone's making crazy decisions here. Meanwhile, at Tinder, discussing the IBM Bauer Bank merger, there's a problem. Two of the board members are not on board any longer. They're worried about security of their current clients after this merger, and they want to sit down. Sounds like a bullshit excuse. Whitney's hell-bent against that, but Yasmin speaks up, having had a little experience with the massaging of egos of unstable family members. Or support scaffold for the delusions of his own grandeur, as Henry aptly puts it. The working title of his biography. Funny.
I loved that because I kind of make that joke a lot, or I'll say like, that's the title of my autobiography, or like,
Yeah.
I used to play bass for them, or whatever.
Right.
So I love that. And I also think it was really smart of him because it was a very like self-deprecating type of joke to make.
Yes. I love that in a human being.
So he's doing a very good job of
Right.
managing that.
Walking that line. Yeah.
Mhm.
When the fellow executive tries to continue to debate this, Yasmin shuts him down, saying it was her husband's decision, prompting the obvious question, why is this dude's wife even in here? Henry hires her as a consultant on the spot, but Yasmin's feelings are hurt.
I liked that she got called out on that because it was sort of like,
Yeah.
who does this person think she is? And everyone in there didn't really know why she was in there.
Yeah.
Right. They're tolerating her being there, but then when she like shuts down his whole ability to debate this, that's crazy.
But I thought it was nice to see Henry like saying that and
Yeah,
giving Jasmine like a place in that meeting unofficially.
right. And later,
Yeah.
yeah, he really is including her and caring about her opinion, and it seems very genuine.
Yeah, I felt that he was genuine, like giving her that place, and also she's very clever, so she needs to be there, and Henry knows that he needs Jasmine there too. I mean, he's not oblivious about his capabilities. Like later in the episode, he knows that he can black out his mind and like just freeze. In Jasmine has that.
Yeah,
She's very clever in those situations, like talking, and she always end up on the top,
Mhm.
like she
Yeah.
always is very gracious in the way that she speak and she smiles and
Yeah, she's great.
everyone like her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's perfect to have on your side.
She's very sharp.
Mhm.
That's the word that I was
Sharp.
looking for. She's very sharp, but also
Yeah.
she grew up in these societies, so she knows how to play the game,
Yeah,
the long game in society.
right.
Especially the media stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially.
And she's worked, for Pierpoint and had that experience as
Right.
well. So she has sort of both worlds she's knowledgeable in.
Mhm. I'm starting to feel kind of bad for Henry. Like, I know that he's problematic in some ways, but like,
I feel bad for him too. I felt bad for him last episode.
yeah, he's got like Yaz manipulating him. I mean, I know that like some of the things are maybe good, but you can feel that Whitney's also manipulating him, and it's just like he's trusting these people and feeling
Yeah.
like they trust him and they're giving him this like fresh start, and
It's sad.
they're all out for their own good. They don't care about him.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him too. Because he seems like he can be, maybe sweet isn't the right word, but
Yeah, I think so, though. I
I
don't
think
know.
so. I mean, this season he's just seems so troubled.
Right.
And then this episode where he's like kind of feeling like he's turned a new page and feeling better, he's still just being manipulated and
Yeah.
controlled, and I just feel sorry for him. And he's still being sweet.
Yeah, it's very different from the last episode of the last season because I remember that he mistreated Jasmine, very misogynist in that last episode before the wedding came out and all this stuff. And now I think he's a very low point in his life where everyone is taking advantage of him.
Mhm.
Right.
So you empathize with that and feel bad for him, but I don't know how this will play out
Yeah.
later in the season,
Mm-hmm. For sure. I do think it's confusing and kind of cute the way throughout this episode. Like I think in the scene there was a moment where Whitney and Henry are sort of laughing at each other's jokes and they seem to have this like camaraderie and friendship.
Mhm.
And it's like, is there anything genuine about that? You can't really tell. And I sort of like that you can't tell.
We haven't seen them have any like relationship building yet.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen them interact too much aside from at the party.
Mm-hmm. And then in business meetings, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see like the little glances, and
Mhm.
they seem, to be on the same wavelength so far.
Yeah. Like you've already said, I fear he's just being manipulated by him.
Definitely, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think there's like another layer happening that I keep getting sucked into where I'm just like, oh, they're kind of friends. I don't know.
Yeah. Eric asked Harper about the Tinder announcement she made at breakfast and if it's real. He's actually read that their stock is about to skyrocket after they merge with an Austrian bank. So she tells him a little bit about the reporter. It seems like it would be an insane gamble, an extra insane gamble, to take this with the merger on the table. And so Eric regales her with the tale of Herbalife. Basically, in 2012, Bill Ackman took out a $1 billion short on Herbalife, citing it was an obvious pyramid scheme, which kind of looks like. Another very famous investor, Carl Icahn, took the opposite long position. So Ackman bet that Herbalife stock was going to go down, and Icahn bet the stock was going to go up. They very publicly battled over this, with Ackman even lobbying politically to have Herbalife investigated. But in the end, Herbalife's PR, helped by Icahn's position, managed to win the fight. The stock just kept going up, and eventually 6 years later, Ackman had to give up and exit his position at an enormous loss. So Eric is obviously pointing this story out because even if Harper's intel about Tinder is true, it still may not play out that way. This isn't even the Wall Street Journal trying to take Tinder down. It's a questionable writer at a small publication. The scene ends with Eric reminding Harper how hard a short-only fund is and how negatively it's perceived, none of which scares her off, of course.
Yeah, this was one of the moments for Eric where I was like, he's saying very intelligent, logical things. You should probably listen to this, you know?
And I think something of this came out at the end of the episode when he's saying like you need to rely in very strong with proofs information, and the article is not that at the moment,
Right.
at least.
Yep.
I really liked the scene. I thought it was really well acted, and I really liked Eric in this scene. I just thought it was really, the things he was saying was so powerful, and hopefully getting to Harper.
And it was very like tutoring her in a way.
Yeah, the mentorship was sort of back.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Diker's article is finally being discussed at Tinder, where he sent questions for pre-publication. It's the first Henry's heard of any of this, and Whitney's trying to play it off like it's nothing. Just someone like Harper, a short investor, trying to get him to publish this to help her trade along. I wonder if knowing about her short fund is why Whitney approached her that night, trying to help ensure he was not on the receiving end of one of her shorts. Alas, he was not that good of a lay, and now she's going to short his company. But the moment he saw her, he like made a beeline over to like, he was on a mission.
I really think he knew who she was, and
Yeah, same.
I think he is a manipulative person, and
I do think she had a good time, though, to be fair.
I do too.
I
do
100% think they knew who each other were.
Yeah.
I mean, they said that too. I don't think that was a lie.
She knew who he was, and I think he kind of, I mean, he even said, he even
I'm on your
said,
corkboard. He's like,
oh, you know who I am?
yeah.
Mhm.
So he knew she shorts things, right? That's why she has a corkboard of targets.
I think he beelined towards her for that exact reason, Kate, like just
Yeah.
to make sure he stays on her good graces, because he
Yeah,
knows they're
exactly.
doing shady things.
Right. Yeah. And she's big news, this all short fund that's coming to the market, everyone's talking about. So it was a smart strategy that perhaps did not work out.
Didn't work, but
No. Anyway, legal says they'll go after Finn Digest. Henry asks Yasmin what she thinks, and she agrees with Whitney, have a vague statement ready with big words dismissing it as ridiculous and slanderous. As they're leaving, Haley pulls Yasmin aside and tells her about her night with Diker back in episode 1, assuring her he didn't force himself on her, but he did sleep over and she doesn't remember much. Obviously, this disturbs Yasmin, and it's clear again how much Yasmin seems to like Haley, or have something in mind for her anyway, as we'll see later. For now, she just thanks her for her transparency and gives her the night off in Vienna, to which Haley essentially reminds her she doesn't work for her. Poor Yaz, everyone's
putting her in her place.
Everyone's putting in her place. Thank you, Allie. Yes.
I just am so blown away by how bold, like, I do the same thing that Haley does for a living, and I just could never.
And you've never done that?
No. It's just crazy how bold she is with these really powerful people.
It is. I used to do that job as well. I was an executive assistant initially at a finance firm as well. And same. It's an insane perspective.
I have something to say about that conversation between Jasmine and Haley, because at the beginning, in my first watch of this episode, I thought it was nice of Jasmine to talk with Haley and say like how shitty men try to take advantage of you in those situations.
I think she says like it sucks when men take things that aren't theirs or something.
Yeah. Exactly. But later, when I was rewatching the episodes, I reminded the previous season, also the last episode of season 3, when Jasmine is talking to it was a waiter in the ship, remember? He was working with her like it was a secretary of something.
Yeah, the one that slept with her dad.
The pregnant woman.
The pregnant woman, exactly.
Then she like hired her.
She hired her, and you almost felt like she was genuinely empathizing with this person. And later she was pissed because something of what she said.
I think it's because she forced her to be vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't like that.
Right. Just like fire her immediately.
Get rid of her.
Exactly. And I reminded how volatile Jasmine is, because she can be like really nice and seems so genuine like she cares for you and everything, and later she can do meaning things. Like
Yeah, she turns on a dime.
she
Yeah.
turns
Like, what is real? Is any of it real, you know?
Yeah.
exactly. And at the beginning, I thought he was genuine with
Mhm.
Haley, and later I felt like no, she was two step ahead. You
Yep.
know, like planning two step ahead so she can have a safe net
Yeah.
in case that Haley and Jim, I don't know, were public their relationships or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think she's so genuine either.
Anytime she seems nice to anyone, you have to suspect that there's an ulterior motive underneath it
Right.
because of how she's acted in the past.
Yeah. Eric's daughter is visiting the office, and she does not like Harper. She's a good judge of character, that Lily. Eric instructs her to tell her mother she enjoyed herself while he pays her off. And surprisingly, she replied that she did have a good time, mostly. I wonder what they did. All we learn is she's kind of bitter because her twin is better at stuff than her, and Harper's reaction to that is good. Who knew? Since we know about her and her brother, turns out Eric does not, had no idea that she had a sibling.
His daughter looks so much older now.
Yeah. When Eric asks Harper, "Do you have siblings?"
She doesn't respond.
She doesn't respond and she looks at him really weird. And I was like, is it just because she has told him already and he should know this? But then obviously that's proven wrong later. So it must just be because she doesn't want to get into personal stuff with anybody that she works with, which makes sense. But she just looks at him like, why are you asking me this?
I think it's just like shocking that he doesn't know. That's how I took
Yeah.
it because like they've known each other for so long to not know such a basic thing, I think is pretty stunning.
But obviously she hasn't offered the information.
She
so-
doesn't want, right, yeah.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to talk about it, so.
Just proves how surface level their relationship has been.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, like, I don't know, it kind of points out a little bit more of Eric's desire to be more personal and her desire to be more removed and professional.
Right.
Hmm.
And that actually, so when I was saying I was conflicted on, is he leaning towards wanting to be more intimate with her in like a sexual way, or does he just mean that in a more like he wants their bond to strengthen,
Yeah.
wants to know these things more? So I don't know where they're going to go with it, but I started to think, I think it's more just he wants a stronger bond with her. But for some reason, we're also being led to maybe get a little confused with, is it going to turn into more than friends or more than just coworkers or what?
Right. I think that his instinct is sort of correct in a way, in the sense of like he doesn't know much about her and she's intentionally hiding things or not being very forthcoming. And it makes it hard to trust somebody when you can tell that they're hiding things. So from that angle, it's like I sort of get it. But exactly what you're saying, Allie, like he has a track record of saying inappropriate things and being way too pushy with personal stuff with people that he works with. So you can't tell what his intentions are really.
And the young black girlfriend that he had in the first episode.
Right.
I feel like they're making it ambiguous for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that was an intentional choice, so.
I don't know. The vibe that I got from this episode is that Eric is trying to bond with Harper.
Just bond with him. Yeah.
Yeah, not in a sexual way,
Right.
but you are expressing something that is very genuine too, that it might happen in the future.
Yeah.
That he crossed that boundary very easily.
With Yaz. Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't know if Harper can bond with someone
Right.
that is not in a sexual way.
Right.
I don't know if she can trust someone.
Yeah. She doesn't have any friends.
Maybe Jasmine, and that's all.
Yeah.
With like any emotional reality or any kind of
Exactly.
personal past or yeah, it's like she's walling all of that off for everybody.
With Covina, it was just sex.
Yeah.
It was not even in a friendly with benefits relationship, you know?
Yeah. I think that's all she's capable of or allows herself to give
Mhm.
to anyone at this point.
Maybe it's that's the word. She can't allow herself to be friendly and establish a healthy bond with someone.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe she can't.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't want to see them get intimate in that way.
I don't think they I don't know. I don't think they will.
will.
I feel like he's just trying to be a fatherly figure, but
Yeah.
she's not into that either.
I also feel like we're seeing such a nice side of him, and I think we're gonna see that's gonna change.
So that can't last.
It
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
last.
Yeah. The show won't let
Because
that
of the
last.
show. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So brace yourselves.
Back to business. Harper was talking to good old Kenny about covering them. Eric's concerned how Kenny might feel about him after he fired him on a hangover last season. And then Sweet Pea shows up. She's been digging into Tinder and it aligns with what Harper's thinking. Their projected finances haven't significantly changed since supposedly offloading the gambling and porn. So she thinks they did not actually offload the gambling and porn. Sweet Pea and Eric are kind of cute. It was cute when he was like, hi.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right as Harper makes an overture about Sweet Pea coming on full-time, Rishi comes in and Sweet Pea freaks the fuck out. And I was like searching in my brain for what has happened between these two characters in the past, but I think she reveals that she's read all of this about him and he's a murderer. Anyway, it was a strong reaction.
Yeah, they had sex in season 3, maybe?
Yeah, they had a relationship.
At the beginning of season 3.
Was she that upset afterwards?
I don't think she was upset about that, but I think she just maybe felt taken advantage of. But then on top of that, obviously, there was the whole, like, there was questionable things he was saying around the office.
Who is he supposed to have murdered? His wife?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that she just thinks that some of the stuff that came out about his wife resulted in, okay, you killed her one way or another.
I mean, it was his fault.
It was his fault.
His fault.
Okay.
Regardless of whether he pulled the trigger.
And I also,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
he was pretty horrific towards her.
Yeah.
Like after they had slept together. And
he said really offensive things to her and to everyone around the office. There was like a phase where he was just saying disgusting things and people reported him to HR.
I do remember that, yeah. And Sweet Pea was on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, I don't think she reported him. I'm not totally remembering that exactly.
But I do remember that, yeah.
But she was around during all of that. And
gotcha.
He would dangle her like, I think she was either OnlyFans or Siren or whatever.
It was Siren, yeah.
Taunt her with that
a
little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he is a dick, so.
He is.
But I was still surprised by the severity of her reaction.
I have a question that's maybe kind of stupid. So
no questions are stupid, Aubrey.
And they might be stupid.
Just kidding. There's lots of stupid questions, but I doubt yours is.
I love that you're admitting to it. Thank you. I appreciate it. The growth of Tinder that she's looking into, that she's seeing on these reports, right? She's seeing like that they're continuing to have growth. My assumption is that she's seeing that this growth doesn't make sense because they fired Siren.
Right.
Like they would only have this continued escalation of their growth because they're continuing to work with porn and gambling, right? Like nothing else about that makes sense.
Right. Like even when they were discussing doing it, they said there had to be a drop off in their revenues in the short term in order to like grow in the long term, but there's no drop off in the revenues in the short term, it seems. So
got it. Okay.
Nothing has actually changed.
Okay. That was my assumption. And so like he's basically, Whitney is supplementing the axing of Siren with the Across stuff that he's doing.
Yeah.
And she's just seeing that it doesn't make sense financially for them to still have this pattern of growth over this term when they've already fired people that were responsible for a lot of their income. Like what was 20% or something. Like I think they said Siren was like 4% of their income, just Siren.
Mm-hmm. Now that Tinder party has arrived in Vienna, Moritz and his mom, Joanna, are waiting and ready with some boarding school jokes and a whole lot of big words. They decide to do the real talking over dinner, and Mumsy shows them to their rooms.
The relationship between Moritz and his mom
it's weird.
so icky and strange.
There was an eerie feeling when we were introduced to them. It was just
that whole scene.
Creepy. I mean, we see why later, but
they shouldn't have flown out there after all. Yeah, it's just wrong. I guess they needed to. I guess he was going to actually cause some problems that get headed off by Yasmin, but yeah, all very creepy.
They really just needed her to go there, honestly.
Right.
They did nothing.
Right? She stayed there alone.
Honestly, the continuing absurdity of just flying to Austria halfway through the day, like, I'm just going to go now and then come back in the morning, like, okay.
Like the Africa thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I wondered when she had a chance to pack. They probably had someone pack for her.
Yeah.
These logistics, they bother me too.
Yeah.
Also, I think because this is the scene where they're walking up to the castle and Henry's like looking at it, right? They're all like looking at the front of the castle.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
When Henry walks up to the castle and he's like, hope it's got a fucking loo. Like at first I thought he was looking at it impressed. And then I said, oh no, he's looking at it like this shithole.
It's, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Funny. Harper's digging deep into Tinder when Eric gets back to the hotel. The previously normal-looking living room has now been covered in boxes and papers strewn everywhere as she looks into Tinder's payments. Where did all these papers even come from? That is a logistical thing that bothers me.
I wondered that.
No
too.
idea.
Rishi made 400 trips down to the curb to carry one box at a time up to the hotel.
All right, then. Thank you for the explanation. I accept. Anyway, we learn a little about the Africa thing. They've acquired 4 payment processors in Africa, and none of them pick up the phones. Eric's heard from one of the potential investors who is considering their short fund, agrees Tinder is overpriced, but wants ridiculous terms if he's going to invest. Terms that could wipe out all of Eric and his daughter's finances, which he is insanely considering. He urges Harper to go out for a bit. He's really, really pushing, like, have a normal life, Harper, and that's not working for her either. But she does go.
I would like to know, how much money are we supposed to assume Eric has? $10 million is a lot, and sounds like, oh, I could do that if I had to. I would just have to blah, blah, blah.
People in that business make a fortune, you guys.
I'm sure.
But the whole family company thing, like, I guess he's tying it up in that business and not his personal funds, though, right? Like, he would just destroy his company versus...
Well, he said his daughter's future.
Yeah.
But I guess
It
that's
was
like...
their inheritance.
Family
Right.
fund. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's a lot of money to risk.
For someone who's fucked you over before?
Exactly. And Harper is not trustworthy.
No,
Not at all.
absolutely not. No.
It's not a right call.
I mean, he's just continuing to be bored and like chasing the thrill of something. And it's like crazy to go with her, but the high risk, high reward thing probably speaks to him. So he's willing to, I mean, it's crazy, but seems like he's willing to risk it just for the thrill of it.
Yeah, I think it's like a drug for them.
Probably. But I think Harper is looking more at the thrill than Eric. I don't feel like Eric is trying to experience that as much as Harper wants. I think Harper really needs that push to the edge every single day.
True, but I think like because of us seeing Eric in his retirement in, I think it was the last episode, he just seemed like this isn't working for me. This life is not enough for me. I need something more exciting. So maybe that's part of it. But he definitely is being more careful than she is in the sense that he's trying to actually research things and not just go out on a limb the way that she is, and he's being smarter about it. Also, I don't remember what scene it was, but he asks the question to Harper, why is Jim leaking this, Jim Diker? Which is a really good question. Like, why is he telling them this?
Yes, I've been wondering that too. Like, what is the gain for him with this?
Yeah, there has to be a personal motivation that we don't know about. Like, obviously, there's been some implication that he lost a bunch of money investing.
Right, in the beginning.
But is that with them? Is that, like, there's some clarity we need on that.
I'm hoping we'll find out. Yeah, we'll probably find out why, but it's a good question.
I think we will. I think there's like a darker reason or a deeper reason that we don't know about.
I've seen on Reddit like a lot of conspiracy theories about it, and yeah, who knows? But I agree, there's definitely some deeper reasoning.
Shin says at the beginning of the episode something about like he needs this article to be huge for his career.
Like to make a name for himself so that because he says something like, I'm using my work to...
My honest work. I think he's maybe in a lot of debt, and he's hoping this will help him get out of that. But I don't know why Harper needs to be informed about all of this. Like, what is his gain if Tinder gets shorted?
Yeah, like she asks him, do you have a personal short with Tinder?
Exactly.
He says no, but that is a valid question that now I'm wondering, okay, well, what else is it if it's not that, you know?
Maybe it's like a family member of his or something, or the girl that had Crohn's. Maybe he has some personal relationship to her.
That would be cool.
That is a good theory.
That's really interesting.
Like maybe that was a girlfriend or a sister, or who knows.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like that's it. Like, that just sounds so right to me all of a sudden.
We'll see.
Moritz's mother, Joanna, and Yasmin have a nice little moment showing her room. She teaches her the word Habseligkeiten. I think I got that wrong. Anyway, she teaches her the new word that is the title of this episode, which means possessions closest to your soul. At dinner, the tension is briefly broken when Moritz announces Louis XIV as his hero, an opinion nobody at that table has ever heard before. But as the conversation continues, it becomes clear that he's got some unique political views. Rather than console him, Henry doesn't mince words when he tells Moritz they will drag IBN Bauer out of the past and into the future, whether he likes it or not. So the battle lines are drawn. Moritz will be lobbying for this deal to be put under heavier scrutiny with both the other board members and the regulatory boards. And Yaz, Henry, and Whitney are sidebarring in the hall. The guys can't believe Yaz is not more concerned about this guy's fascism, but she insists on staying while the guys fly out to make the regulator meeting.
I thought it was funny when Whitney said, considering her last name is Hanani,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you were wanting to deal with them.
Yeah. And the dinner scene where Henry was like, that's not something I've ever heard before about Louis XIV. And then Whitney kind of laughs about it. That was another moment where I was just like, they're being so friendly and flirty and they have this like camaraderie and it's just, I don't know, seems real. It's not going to be real. But right now it seems real.
It was just fun to watch the two of them next to each other.
Yeah, they've had nice interactions over the last 2 episodes.
They had really good facial acting when we were hearing the guy talk going on and on about, whatever weird fascist beliefs he had, and then just watching the two of their faces at dinner, like,
Yeah, it's like they have these inside jokes, like they've been friends for a long time or something, like the way you would respond to a close friend that you've known forever.
Yeah, I like that.
Harper's meeting her former coworker and fuck buddy Quabina, who is 15 minutes late and takes it disappointingly well that she fucked Whitney. I like this guy a lot. He should run fast and far. Instead, she does. He's just being funny, and it really doesn't sit well with her.
I haven't developed an opinion on him yet.
Fair.
The first episode, I was kind of wary about him because of the whole Sweet Pea video thing. I felt like he definitely saw the video, and I don't know, I kind of couldn't tell, and then I just couldn't get a good read on him. But I liked him in this scene. I thought he was being normal and nice, and like he said things that you would want to hear if you were into somebody. I had to rewind it because he said he wasn't sleeping with anyone else. And the way she reacted to that was as if he said he was.
I think she was scared because he said, I'm not fucking anyone else.
I like you if you let me.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, he's very into me and I'm not.
And the possibility of a real relationship probably freaks Harper out.
Exactly, yeah.
Did you think she was disappointed that he was not like more upset about her sleeping with Whitney?
I thought she would have been, but it to me seemed like she was more disappointed that he was kind of all in on her. She didn't want him to be.
Okay.
Which goes together kind of though, because if he had been more upset, like, I don't know, I think that her saying that about Whitney was like an obvious opportunity for him to back out.
Right.
And then when he was like, no, I'm fine with it. It was like, oh shit, that didn't work.
That's
like
a good point.
Yeah.
Right. She thought that would drive him away. Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense.
Like Melissa said, she's afraid of the possibility of him being interested in her in more than just a casual hookup kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Has she been in a relationship during the show?
When she first came to Pierpoint, she had that ex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when she lived back in New York, and he then came to visit her, and obviously things went south, but
Yeah. And she used to like FaceTime him, and yes, I remember that. And then she dates an employee. I guess that was still Pierpoint at that point.
DVD.
Yeah, DVD.
I loved him. I loved DVD.
He was gorgeous.
He was so nice too. And
He
like
was so
nice. Just a good guy. Yeah, he was.
She didn't like him because he was not corrupted by the system like everyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Or as much, at least.
I don't know if they ever were like more than just hookup buddies, but
well, I think he wanted to be because I remember when she came back from her trip, which she was upset about seeing her brother, I think. But he was worried she had like slept with someone else, and it was just like
I think
kind of so ridiculous with her amount of investment versus his, like the way he reacted. And then she was just so mean to him from that point forward.
Well, and you know what? It was kind of a similar reaction because he was like asking, or I don't remember the specifics of it, but it was like the scene played out where she used that as a way to make him upset.
Drive him away. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of what she's doing here in the scene. So she can't accept a relationship progressing to like the next level.
Right. Back at the hotel office, Eric's bumming around in a robe, shopping online. Harper is so highly strung, man. Eric calls her out on it and she gets the fight she wants. She loves fighting. But God, what a mess of a human. Eric, on the other hand, can at least be funny. After her whole soliloquy, he set off by calling her triggered. He responds by repeating, "It sounds like she's a little triggered," which it does. Somehow this encourages her to finally tell Eric that, like his daughters, she is also a twin. Oddly, he does not inquire any further, not even if it's a sister or a brother. But he does give her information that will delight her. The care of mailing address for all of these payment processors Tinder acquired is a single shithole in Sunderland. They're on to something now, and Sweet Pea and Harper are going to go check it out.
This was one of the scenes where I was like, what the fuck is Eric doing, though? Because, like, why is he sitting in a robe with potentially no undergarments on in the middle of their shared space? Like, what is going on here?
I was surprised, too, when he asked her if she was okay with it. She was kind of like, yeah, but I think she was just distracted by other things.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'd be like, no, what the fuck? Why are you sitting here like this?
Right.
Go to your
like,
room.
Go to your room. Exactly. Go to your room. For real. Like, I don't know if he means anything by it, but he should be self-aware about this. That's crazy behavior for a coworker.
Was one of them staying at this hotel? Do we know?
I thought they were staying there and it was like a suite with like a shared space in the middle and then they had bedrooms, but I could be completely
Because
misunderstanding.
don't they both live in London?
Eric doesn't, right? Because he
Oh.
lived in like, he moved to like DC or something, right? With his
Oh, right.
retirement. Or did he? I don't know, because his daughters live in
I think it was
the UK.
unclear. Yeah, I think
It's
it's
unclear.
unclear where he moved or what he was doing after retirement, but
But Harper keeps coming back there after hours. So I don't know if it's just because she's a workaholic, like she's admitting
I think-
to and works
yeah.
until the middle of the night, or if she's actually sleeping there. I have no idea.
maybe she's just not sleeping.
Yeah, but it seems like he could just go to his own space and not the space where she has
Right.
her 4-monitor computer set up, you know? Like, I don't know. Which is weird. Weirded me out.
Agreed. It was weird.
Haley knocks on Yaz's door late at night with some ideas she could easily have emailed, and Henry emerges from the bathroom half-dressed. So Yaz decides to push, bring up Haley's sex life, and then push further. Do you like my husband? Do you want to kiss him? Turns out she does, and Yaz is into it. Henry too. All consent boxes have been checked, and so activities commence. But as they start, Yaz looks kind of disgusted. Neither Haley nor Henry notice. They're distracted. So Yaz lights a cigarette and directs the scene from her chair across the room. Soon, Haley's hanging upside down over the end of the bed as Henry fucks her. As soon as he finishes, Yaz demands he gets off her and Haley spin around and face her. She's going to take back ownership of what her husband just left in Haley.
The sound effects in this scene, ridiculous. Like they had squelching, which I'm using that word and cringing while I'm saying it.
This show has always had really intense sound effects like during their sex scene.
Yeah.
I've noticed. And yeah, that did not yeah.
They didn't hold back on the
They didn't hold
sounds.
back on that, yeah.
I would like to interview the Foley artist for this episode and see what they used to make that sound.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm always so curious about the sounds that, like even people walking
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not actually the actors walking. It's just so fascinating.
When I was in film school, we had a Foley studio at the school I was at, and they had a bunch of different materials on the floor in like squares that you could walk on, and they would sync up. They had like a screen in the front,
Right.
and you could sync up walking. And I was like, that'd be such a cool job, honestly. Hard,
I would like to do that.
but a cool job, yeah.
And I like ASMR, so there you go.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
Perfect. It's your dream job.
Born for it.
yeah, maybe not for this show.
I don't remember if they using the clapping sound of sexual scenes.
They
Oh.
have.
They use it,
I think they have used it before.
Yeah, they like the skin clapping noise.
but not in this season. Or
They
Yeah,
did with
in the
Whitney.
Whitney and Harper scene,
Very
there was a
intense.
very loud clapping.
I always laugh at that because it's very
It's so
funny.
real. It's so real. Yeah.
Did you notice how I don't know, I really like the way that Jasmine like sits.
Yeah.
Like it was such a power move from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she loves the power, but is also like, what? I can't believe I'm doing this.
Did you think she looked like disgusted when she at one point when they just started making out?
Yes.
I thought she looked like she just felt really uncomfortable after she like had the whole spiel and like, it was a big power move. But then it felt very much like once it started happening, she was kind of like, oh, what did I actually just make happen here?
The reality hit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, do you remember that scene where she was about to hook up with Robert and then Harper comes in, season 1 or 2?
Season 1.
And they're going to have a threesome and she seems really
Yes.
uncomfortable and then she tells Harper to leave, right? Isn't that what happens?
Yeah, I think Harper ends up
Leaving
leaving
because she's
because
uncomfortable.
she noticed that Rob and Yaz were more into each other, and I think she
Right.
just felt like just an extra.
Well, and Yaz was kind of stealing the scene from Harper, wanted to have sex with Rob.
Yeah.
And he always liked Yaz. He really always had a thing for her, so it's,
Mm-hmm.
And I think Harper had a crush on Rob, but
Yeah.
he wasn't reciprocated in the same way.
Yeah, so it just reminded me of that because it's like Yaz thinks that she wants this detached power, but really she does have some emotional connection that she's not willing to admit to. And she's like forcing this to pull herself out of it almost. I don't know.
Yeah, she almost looked sick. Like she was just feeling sick about it. Once it started happening, she just sort of looked.
I think, I don't know if you felt this too, but I felt that she was, I don't know, maybe hoping that Henry said, I don't know, say something like
Pushed back.
push back.
Hmm.
And he did for like a half a second, and then he was okay with it. So
Yeah.
I think she was disappointed that she ended up in this situation so easily.
It was interesting how easily they both were like, okay.
Yeah.
Like even his assistant, like she was just ready to go. She didn't even question it.
I have a lot of questions about Haley's behavior, to be honest, because like,
It's interesting.
yeah, and it seems way too bold. I don't know, maybe that's just her character, but I keep thinking that there's some motive underneath it, and maybe that's just because I'm trained to think that about every character on this show.
Right.
But also, like, Yaz, I mean, really didn't seek Henry's consent in this.
She kind of forced it.
Because that's not the thing that you ask in the moment. That's a thing you have a conversation about in private
Right.
to decide that you want to do this before you bring somebody in.
Right.
She didn't give him a chance to do that. And she gave him an incredibly awkward moment to say no, where it would have been very uncomfortable for him to do so.
Right.
So she basically forced him to do this.
Right.
I know that he was okay with doing it in the end because he obviously went through with it and he could have said no, and that's like his opportunity to. But he's also been deferring to her through this episode.
For business and every decision, yeah.
And she knows that. She knows that he'll do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
So she's taking advantage of that here. And I just think, I don't know, I kept wondering if something had been sidebarred with Yasmin and Haley, where they had discussed this previously. And like, this is crazy, but like where maybe Yaz had said, come to our room at this time and pretend like it's for some other reason and then fuck Henry. And then I kept thinking like, is Haley gonna get pregnant because of the whole thing with wanting an heir?
Right. That would be it.
Yeah, I know. This is one way to avoid having a baby.
And Yasmin seeming kind of off-put by that concept in the previous episode. Like, let's find someone else who will have his baby. I don't know.
Could be. But I read somewhere that Haley is not who we think she is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Feels right.
And why they call her Calabazas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure that out.
We don't assume she's from Calabasas. I just assume she's from Calabasas, California.
That's the most obvious assumption. They just haven't, have they said? I don't know.
No.
Maybe they've said and we've missed it.
They haven't said anything, and I wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a nickname, and she seems like to be rich or very
well off. Yeah.
Yeah, she had a really nice place.
Yeah.
The transition from Yaz about to eat Haley out to slurping an oyster was amazing.
What an editing choice.
Right?
Yeah.
I liked that. That was very unique. I almost felt like I was having like an aneurysm. So I was like, wait.
Not the next expected moves. Yes, agreed. Yaz is there alone with Johanna, and they take the dogs for a walk while Mumsy coaches her on how to handle her son. He just needs attention. They concoct a plan to get him a column in Uncle Alex's paper, and Yaz is only forced to sell her soul a little bit and agree with his mom that his fascist views are sensible. When she returns to her room, she realizes the painting in her room is signed by none other than presumably Dolph Hitler himself. Amazing.
that scene definitely hit in a weird way. It was like, whoa, all the fastest talk he was going on about. Obviously, we know why.
Yeah.
Not shocked.
And how nice they were being to her, knowing that they're, I don't know what their relation to Hitler is. Fans of his, or I assumed they have like some sort of familial relation to him.
Well, they mentioned earlier that they funded the Reich, right? Early in the episode, I think they said that they funded
Oh, did they?
the Nazis, yeah. But it was like so long ago that you're supposed to assume that they've changed, and they have not, it seems.
Because they made some excuse after that about, oh, we've also given a lot of money to Holocaust survivors, basically, right?
Right. That is what they said. Yep.
Yeah, so it was in the room with possessions closest to their soul
Jesus. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and a Hitler painting
Yep.
is hung on the wall.
Pretty clear.
And it just gave me such a creepy feeling for Yaz. Like she was there alone
Oh, so
Mhm.
gross. Yes.
in that room.
Ugh.
But it also kind of shows the moral, I don't know, disintegrity, is that a word? Like lack of integrity for morals that they kind of have, because it's like, we'll still work with you. We still are going to support you and try to make this work,
Mhm.
even though I've just discovered this, you know?
Ugh,
Right.
it's gross.
Oh yeah. She said before, it's just business, she doesn't try to get too personal with business stuff, but that's where I would draw a line. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. A normal person would. Also, Yasmin knows every language. What?
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah, that's true.
And she says it's because of all of her nannies.
Yeah.
Still very impressive.
She knows like, I don't know, 6, 7 languages. She's crazy.
Every language so far has been.
And also, shout out to Marisa. Her pronunciation is perfect. I remember watching her speaking Spanish and Portuguese, and she was like nailed it. Perfect. Was
Wow.
perfect. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and her Italian.
I think it's cool how some people are just like very good at languages.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people, but
I would like to be. I wish I was.
I would love to be. Yeah.
I think for European it's more easier to learn
Mm.
a lot of languages.
The other languages, yeah.
Yeah.
She's obviously very adaptable to language.
Mhm. Thanks to those nannies.
I could have had 1,000 nannies with different languages and I would still only speak English. I'm sorry.
Right.
Right? Like, and also when you're a kid and you have one for a couple years, can you really learn
Right.
German? Like, she just picked it up like
No.
it was nothing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Smart.
Amazing.
When you're very young, it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It is easier when you're young.
It makes me angry though, because in season, was it 3, where Harper and Yasmin have this big argument and Harper tells her that she's like useless and has
Yeah.
nothing, and she's like talentless, and
Yeah, it's shitty.
It's very untrue.
it's bad, but it's like, yeah, because she has different talents than you.
Right.
But also, she's freaking smart and knows 1,000 languages. So you can back
Mhm.
off, Harper.
In that fight, I support Jasmine 100%.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Me too.
I still like Yasmin more.
A lot of their arguments, I'm Team Yaz.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think she has been a better friend to Harper
Yeah.
than Harper has been to her.
Same.
Harper's a terrible person. So,
I don't like Harper that much. I'm sorry.
same.
Harper has no soul.
Yes, I think Jasmine might make mistakes, but I don't know. She's not so cruel or treacherous like Harper.
She did try to be a good friend to her in the beginning of the seasons, like, 1 and 2. I thought she did make an effort to be a good friend to her,
Right.
but never saw that reciprocated.
Yeah.
The fandom in this show is not between men, but between women.
Between the two,
Team
yeah.
Jasmine and Team Harper.
I'm gonna say I'm Team Yasmin.
Harper has fans.
Yeah.
But, I guess everyone does.
Yes, I think Harper has more friends.
People love her
Really?
Love her.
because
Yeah.
they think of her as like she's a boss bitch. I mean, she is, but
Yeah, but
she's not a good person.
right, she's a bad person. At Finn Digest, Diker's article has been butchered by the night lawyer, as expected. Tinder's lawyers did their threatening well, it seems. This article isn't going to be good enough to get his source comfortable coming out, but he tells them to publish it anyway. It's a start. Sweet Pea and Harper ring the bell of the address they found on the Tinder reports and are remarkably allowed in to grill the guy about his work. and he gives them the goods. They figure out how they're hiding all of their illegal transactions. They're very excited, and Sweet Pea's convinced to come to work at Stern Tao. Harper calls Diker first to tell him the news about Tinder.
So, first of all, why would that address be printed at all?
I don't know.
Was very stupid of them.
Do we think it's because Gorgeous Jeffrey, or whatever she calls him,
Yeah.
created these reports?
Probably. I think that's the most reasonable answer.
Yeah. So then, like, Jim Diker says, my man who may corroborate evidence. Do we think he's talking about Jeffrey or somebody else or Harper? Or is he bullshitting?
No, I think he meant Harper.
Okay.
I feel like it's someone we don't know, or the assistant. Like, I know that he knows the assistant, the former assistant.
Yeah, that was a curveball that I hadn't thought of, and that's like amazing. That makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, but when he says he, I don't know. I didn't know either. The man, yeah.
But he could just be saying that to make it generic.
Yeah.
Right.
To not call out who it is.
Cover up, yeah.
Also, Sweet Pea, underrated character. I love her so much.
I love Sweet Pea. Yeah.
She's played by Miriam Pecci. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's great. I love her. I love the investigative stuff that she does. Like, the CIA needs to just hire her away from the financial stuff. She's so good at this.
She is really good.
I don't know. She's so excited that you invest in that excitement, you know?
Yeah. You feel excited because she's excited about it. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. And I will find extremely disappointed with Harper when Harper betrays her. I hope she doesn't.
Yeah.
But I feel so bad for her.
Oh yeah, she better not cross her. I would be pissed.
I feel so
Yeah.
bad, but also trusting Harper's word on anything is a crazy thing to do.
Right.
I know that she doesn't have as much history with Harper, but it's like,
She should know.
no, you got to get contracts and lawyers. Like, Harper's word literally means nothing, right?
Keep a lawyer on you at all times. Yeah, she sucks. I like Sweet Pea a lot too. I hope she doesn't get fucked.
And the scene where she's with Jeffrey in the room, which, by the way, it's insane, I think, that he revealed any of this information because
Yeah.
for so many reasons.
I don't get it, but I like it.
Agreed.
Yeah, like Whitney should have had him sign an NDA before hiring him, first of all.
Yeah.
But somebody did mention, I don't remember who it was, that like maybe he's just withdrawn and, in quotes, dumb enough to not think about,
Yeah.
like, they may have hired him for that trait.
Right.
That he's not going to look into it or think about it beyond just the surface level that he's doing for his work.
Right.
So I could sort of see that making sense. And like, okay, these people showed up, they're doing a census. I'm just going to tell them whatever they want to know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm hiding anything because no one told me I am, you know?
Yeah.
But when Sweet Pea is talking to him and he's like kind of putting down his work and she says, don't put yourself down, work is work.
Work is
I'm like,
work.
"Aw,
Yeah.
Sweet
That felt
Pea."
really genuine.
Yeah.
She was nice.
She made a point to turn and look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that. Don't talk like that about yourself.
I know.
She's
Sweet.
so nice. I love her.
Yeah, she doesn't belong here. She's too good for this world.
She's going to get fucked, but I love her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
for sure. Henry's presenting at the regulator meeting, throwing their own words back at them, that they want to rip up the bureaucracy that blocks investment and urge the regulator to take growth seriously. If they block this deal, they're breaking those promises. And despite Bevan's warnings, Frederick brings up Brexit without naming it per se, but this would be steps back into a relationship with Europe that the previous government severed. Things get tense when the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, who Lisa was definitely not expecting, when he relays the minister's desire for Britain to become the fintech capital of Europe, if not the world. Ambitious. Everyone looked duly shocked. Whitney's little look of anger when Henry zones out was so entertaining to me. Did you see that?
Yeah, so good.
He's so mad.
And then he's like, Henry,
Yeah.
wake up.
The next day, the big newspapers are raving about Tinder joining the FTSE 100, and FinTech's little article on the scandal has barely made a wave. In other paper news, Henry sees the article Alexander let Moritz write, a case for benevolent dictatorship, and Henry is not happy about it. Henry has morals, after all. He also didn't like what Yasmin arranged with Haley. Says it didn't feel right. It felt like enabling. Yaz isn't having it, saying he wanted to fuck her, so he did. And when Haley comes back in with business, Yaz invites her for a nightcap with them, and Henry shuts that down. See, this is like take two. She did the same thing. It's in front of her. It's going to be embarrassing to Haley, but this time he knows to shut that down. And it's so shitty because he has just told her he was uncomfortable with it.
Yep.
And then she does this again. That is so fucked. But I was proud of him.
Absolutely. She's not wrong in what she's saying, but everything she's doing and the way she goes about it is extremely fucked up because she's basically forcing this on him. And it's like, yeah, that's a very good point, Kate, because the consent piece is not on Yasmin's mind at all.
No, and they did pre-discuss it this time, and he said he's not comfortable. So no matter what, it's insane that she would ask this again right now. Suggest it.
She doesn't care what he wants or what he says. She just wants what she wants.
Yeah, it's so weird. I guess, though, it could also, no, I guess the adultery wouldn't work because she fucked her too. So never mind. Scratch that.
Oh, no, that's an interesting point, though, Kate, because
I thought about that.
that is in their prenup.
Like, is she trying to get him to do this so that she can hold this against him later on? I don't know. But also, Haley seemed so nonchalant. Like, what girl?
Yeah.
She didn't seem embarrassed at all. I would quit. I would leave. I would be done.
Yeah. You would not have shown up at work the next day. I wouldn't have either.
I would never show up again.
Literally, you have to face your employer who you fucked and your employer's wife who ate you out the night before.
I would go.
Or like within the last few nights. What?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You will never see me again.
It was the night before because she said that she has a hangover.
Oh yeah, she's too young for hangovers or whatever she said. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
I would not leave my house for like weeks and I would send in my notice.
I would move.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, change your
Bye-bye.
name, witness protection. Like what?
Eric, Yaz, and Harper are discussing Tinder not being affected by the Finn Digest article. As usual, Harper won't accept that she could be wrong. When Sweepy wanders off, Eric confides in Harper that he's putting all his money on the line to bring Pierre on board. The scenario where if Tinder goes up, he loses everything. Crazy! All he asks is they consider being closer friends, I think, is what he was asking. Promises he won't hurt her just by knowing her. And she essentially replies, no thank you, I just want your money. And then Kenny re-enters the scene. He's going to be their traitor. Sweepy's quite tall. And Quebena's in. Eric even apologizes to Kenny, who hilariously responds with, it's not the worst thing anyone's ever done. The theme of this show. I wonder in the end what the actual worst thing anyone's ever done will be.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, that was a great line to end on.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing anybody's ever done.
I liked seeing Kenny.
Yeah, I was happy he was back. I mean, he's not been a saint by any means, but
No, I used to hate him, but he's come back.
He's had a good character growth throughout the
Yeah, he had a good redemption arc.
He seemed genuinely like he actually grew as a person rather than other people who were faking it. He seemed like he had a real attempt to make amends, even if it wasn't always doing it the right way or lacking completely in ego. Like he tried,
Yeah.
Which is more than you can say for most people.
I think he took action on himself, which a lot of these characters have not done.
Right.
Like he obviously had a lot of issues and he worked really hard to overcome them. And I think that is something that a lot of characters in the show do not do. They just give in to themselves.
Right. He analyzed his behavior and tried to make changes.
Self-aware.
Yeah.
And I like the actor. I think he's good. I think he plays that character well.
He's really good.
Yeah.
I really want him to take revenge, though, which I feel like is not going to happen. But I'm just like...
That'd be funny.
Yeah, like Eric...
I don't know, maybe.
The show turns into that.
The firing on a hangover thing was so awful. Like, yeah, he needs to have some moments of, like, triumph over these people, but...
Yeah, Kenny is played by Connor McNeil. I really like this actor.
Yeah, he's great.
I like the I gave it to you, the phrase Eric uses. Sounds like he's giving Harper like a gift or an opportunity. Also like a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And I think in that moment, Harper is very stressed, like seems too much to handle.
Yeah.
So she said, no, stop, like set the boundary there because she doesn't want to be, I don't know, that invested, that intimate with him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, she knows that now it's a personal thing for him because he said earlier that this is my daughter's inheritance and I'm giving it to you and trusting you to do right by that. And she's been so detached.
Well, she did not ask for that, just for the record.
She didn't.
Even though I hate her, you should not have put that on her.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Exactly that.
But it definitely would hit her, I think, in like a, we've been
Overwhelming way.
Yeah, and we've been trying to operate on like an emotionally detached level this whole episode with her not wanting to talk to him about her personal stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, but I literally put my entire personal life on the line for you.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, she said, don't do that.
Mhm.
So on both sides, it's kind of like y'all are crossing some lines. I don't know.
Bad decisions everywhere.
Bad decisions. Yeah.
All right, I guess that's a wrap on our discussion of season 4, episode 3. Come back next week. We will discuss episode 4. Thanks for listening.
Bye.